Top 10 things to do on Kansas Day 2020. Before we get started, please support our channel and subscribe, like, and hit the bell for upcoming videos. Thank you. Let's get started. Kansas Day is a holiday in the state of Kansas in the United States. It is celebrated annually on the 29th of January to commemorate the anniversary of the state's 1861 admission to the Union. It was first celebrated in 1877 by schoolchildren in Paola. Annual Kansas Day celebrations include school field trips and special projects to study the history of Kansas, pioneer-style meals, special visits by students to the Kansas State House in Topeka, Kansas, performances of Home on the Range, the Kansas State Song, and special proclamations by the Governor of Kansas and members of the Kansas Legislature. 1. Visit the Kansas State Capitol. The Kansas State Capitol, known also as the Kansas State House, is the building housing the executive and legislative branches of government for the U.S. state of Kansas. Located in the city of Topeka, which has served as the capital of Kansas since the territory became a state in 1861. The building is the second to serve as the Kansas Capitol. The dome, at 304 feet, is taller than the 288 feet United States Capitol Dome, although its diameter 50 feet, is approximately half that of the National Capitol, 96 feet. It is one of the few capitals in the United States that continue to offer tours that go to the top of the dome. Visitors enter the dome by climbing 296 steps leading from the 5th floor to the top. 2. Flint Hills Prairie. The Flint Hills, historically known as Bluestem Pastures or Bluestem Hills, are a region in eastern Kansas and north central Oklahoma named for the abundant residual flint eroded from the bedrock that lies near or at the surface. It consists of a band of hills stretching from Kansas to Oklahoma, extending from Marshall and Washington counties in the north to Cowley County, Kansas and Kern and Osage counties in Oklahoma in the south, to Geary and Shawnee counties west to east. Oklahomans generally refer to the same geologic formation as the Osage Hills or the Osage. 3. Cosmosphere and Stratosphere. Cosmosphere is a space museum and STEM education center in Hutchinson, Kansas, United States. It was previously known as the Kansas Cosmosphere. The museum houses over 13,000 spaceflight artifacts, the largest combined collection of US and Russian spaceflight artifacts in the world, and is home to internationally acclaimed educational programs. 4. Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve. Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve is a United States national preserve located in the Flint Hills region of Kansas, north of Strong City. The preserve protects a nationally significant example of the once vast Tallgrass Prairie ecosystem. Of the 400,000 square miles of Tallgrass Prairie that once covered the North American continent, less than 4% remains, primarily in the Flint Hills. Since 2009, the preserve has been home to the growing Tallgrass Prairie bison herd. 5. Botanica. The Wichita Gardens. Botanica. The Wichita Gardens was opened in 1987 as a collaboration between the Wichita Area Garden Council and the city of Wichita. Originally it had 4 gardens and now encompasses 17.6 acres of botanical gardens located at 701 North Amadon, Wichita, Kansas, USA. They are city-owned as part of the Wichita Park System and are operated by Botanica, Inc., a non-profit 501c3. The gardens include an aquatic collection, butterfly garden and 2,880 square foot butterfly house featuring pansy exhibits during the winter, greenhouse for tropical plants, juniper collection with more than 30 types of junipers, peony collection of 104 cultivars, pinetum, rock garden with sedum and sympervivum, rose garden with more than 350 rose plants, sensory garden, Shakespearean garden, woodlands with azaleas, dogwoods, elm, hackberry, honey locust, mulberry, Osage orange, and red buds, and Xeriscape demonstration garden. 6. Brown v. Board of Education National Historic Site. Brown v. Board of Education National Historic Site was established in Topeka, Kansas, on the 26th of October, 1992, by the United States Congress to commemorate the landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision aimed at ending racial segregation in public schools. On the 17th of May, 1954, the Supreme Court unanimously declared that separate educational facilities are inherently unequal and, as such, violated the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which guarantees all citizens equal protection of the laws. The site consists of the Monroe Elementary School, one of the 4 segregated elementary schools for African American children in Topeka, and the adjacent grounds. 7. Wichita's Cowboy Heritage. The Kansas Cowboy Hall of Fame is located at the Boot Hill Museum in Dodge City, Kansas. The first inductees were selected in 2002. 8. University of Kansas Natural History Museum. The University of Kansas Natural History Museum is part of the University of Kansas Biodiversity Institute, a KU-designated research center dedicated to the study of the life of the planet. The museum's galleries are in Deitch Hall on the university's main campus in Lawrence, Kansas. The galleries are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday and noon to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Deitch Hall has been listed on the National Register of Historic Places since the 14th of July, 1974. It was listed for its connection with Louis Lindsay Deitch and for its distinctive Romanesque style of architecture. The exterior is constructed of local Ohrid limestone, while the window facings, columns, arches, and grotesques are carved from cottonwood limestone. Deitch Hall is also the site of one of only 3 Victory Eagle statues in Kansas, once used as markers on the Victory Highway. 9. McPherson Opera House. McPherson Opera House is an historic opera building at 221 South Main Street in McPherson, Kansas. The house was built in 1888, opened in 1889 and added to the National Historic Register in 1972. 10. Iconic murals and sculptures in Kansas City. In Kansas City, public art is in plain view, no matter where you're standing. Discover some of the most iconic murals and sculptures in the City of Fountains and even embark on a tour of some of the finest in the Crossroads Arts District. In Kansas City, public art is in plain view, no matter where you're standing. Discover some of the most iconic murals and sculptures in the City of Fountains and even embark on a tour of some of the finest in the Crossroads Arts District. Happy Kansas Day! Thanks for watching our channel. If you like this video, please comment and subscribe.